And a few words about rendering, about texturing before we wrap it all up. This is not something that you will see in the videos, because I made this well, actually just a week ago, and I'm talking from December 2024. I even though I still wanted to make this well, I wanted to capture a little bit of Italian Renaissance in this model, because I thought it was fitting to the character, I guess, to the persona of Lex Fridman. But I didn't really like what I did previously when it comes to props, when it comes to environments, and how it all looked. And so I've just made very simple things, like the wall you can see behind well, you can see it all on your screen, right? You're watching it literally with me. But I made this, for example, this frame, very simple. Some ornaments, I think I also found them online for free, modified some of it. Definitely did some modeling of the actual frame inside of ZBrush, then Substance Painter for texturing, and that's basically it, right? You can see that it's all just 3D. This is not this is not some composition inside of Photoshop. The paintings, they're quite fun. I've used let me just try and get closer to them first. I've actually used artificial intelligence to generate those paintings. I've set well, it basically gave Midjourney a painting by Raphael, and gave this directions to what kind of paintings I was looking for. And there is also a little, I guess, idea behind the diptych, the two versions of the model that you see in the final versions, right? The one is I call it the innocent Lex, this one that you see, and the other one is called evil Lex. And I'm not sure if yes, I do have it stored in here. So this is the quote-unquote evil evil Lex, where Hedgie is kind of, the thing that is running the show. I mean, at least that's how I kind of see it. But anyway, this is the other painting. It's also done inside of Midjourney, the same kind of process, right? And here it's obviously, if the original painting was rockets flying off, here the rocket is actually just in flames landing, so it's a catastrophe, right? And this is I thought it was a funny idea. At least to me it seems like something funny. But anyway, the thing that I wanted to mention in here, when it comes to commentary, there's one thing that you will see inside of the raw videos is me assigning material to something that is lying on top of the model. So it's an outer shell that I made inside of it doesn't matter. I mean, I keep going back to saying I made it inside of 3ds Max, but it doesn't really matter. You can do it anywhere. But the idea is that I wanted to capture this Raphael-esque look to the model, to the kind of not necessarily to the model, but to the textures. And I knew that doing that just on the textures simply wouldn't work, because I would need to paint all the shadows, and if the model was to rotate, and the model is rotating, right? We can see it in here. I made some a turntable as well. So if the model was rotating like that, and I was to paint shadows inside of on the textures themselves, it simply would have looked rather strange. And I wanted to have this Raphael-esque look, even if the model was animating, right? And so I was doing some experimentation. I was trying to figure out how to achieve that. And one way I was able to more or less achieve what I wanted to is through this outer shell, and by assigning a material that is kind of rubber almost rubber, right? You will definitely see me experimenting with that in the videos. I was basically able to create this kind of more shadowy look outside, not outside, but on the edges of the model. It's kind of hard to tell, but it's definitely there. If you look at, for example, at this side, right, with the shadowy side, if we turn it on and off, you can see that the light is hitting this this side, which is fine, right? But it's not what I wanted. I want to have this very kind of darkish look outside of the model. And because I'm using because I'm using Marmoset toolbag, there aren't that many options to experiment with things. Like it's not like this is Unreal Engine, right? In Unreal you would have been able to make something like this just on the shader itself. It probably would have been much easier task to do as well, because I was struggling. I was trying to sort out how to achieve something like this in a application that is just so limited, right? But I think this is working pretty well. It's like I said, it's a very small kind of detail, but it's definitely there. So if you look at the, for example, the knuckles in here, you can see that the shadow is well, it's doing the thing that I wanted to do. It creates this very soft, very kind of lovely effect, something that I definitely associate, definitely Raphael, but a lot of painters from the Italian Renaissance as well. And even the suit itself has this outer layer. It's just that for the purposes of turntable, I switched the material, because you see when I click, you can see what I'm actually selecting. It's the whole kind of shell of the model, right? It's lying on top of it. We can't just see it because it's transparent. But if I turn it off, you can see that everything is becoming a little bit kind of lighter. But the suit itself has two versions. One of them is just the suit cover, and another one is depending on the angle that I am looking at, right? So for example, for the innocent one, if I assign it in here, you can see just how big of a change is now that we're looking at, right? How big of a change is taking place compared to let's say this one. And I really liked this version, the innocent one, right? Because it's making the shadows almost extreme. It kind of looks rubbery, maybe too much, right? But it definitely has this kind of painted, at least to me, somewhat painted look to the model. And this is without doing this on textures. I mean, textures definitely still capture a lot of painterly effect. There's a lot of shadows, even though what you're looking at the shadows in here, for example, this is ambient occlusion, right? I didn't paint that, but it's still quite a bit of trickstery behind it. But the reason why there are so many materials is because when it comes to the material itself, I'm playing with the normals, right? And so if I was to rotate this particular material, right, assigned, well, if I was to rotate the model with this particular material assigned, you will see that as soon as the model is kind of rotating in an angle that is not workable, right? This is, I mean, like I said, this is because I'm just playing with the normals. So it's only from very few angles you could actually see this effect. Otherwise, it's just going to turn into black, right? The same goes for the evil look. So if I assign this material from this angle, it doesn't work, right? It's becoming just too dark. But if I rotate it to the angle that I do like, I believe it's somewhere here. I think I've just messed something up because it's a bit too much as well in here. It's definitely paintery looking, right? But it's a bit too much. I think I've changed some settings somewhere. But again, if we compare the material, right, this is how much is changing. And so this is the whole idea behind this outer shell, something that you see in the videos, me playing with the material, playing with the settings. This is precisely why I did it. I just wanted to not have I didn't want to simply have a model that looks good. I also wanted to capture some kind of effect that I thought was fitting to the character that I was making, which is, like I said, it's Italian Renaissance.